What's up, Tour 904? You haven't seen us in a while? Dan is really sick. We've both been sick for about a week. He's still not over it, so we need to get some stuff moving. So I'm going to do some plumbing today. We're going to use this tool, I don't know what it's called, one-hand clamp fastening tool, to get our plumbing going. So we're going to finish up the plumbing that we started a week ago or so. We've got some of the plumbing done under the sink, and I'll show you that. And then I'm going to attach the hot and cold pipes to that, and then we're going to connect the hot water heater and the water pump and the, what the heck is this called? The accumulator, which gives it water pressure. And we're going to be doing some plumbing today. So hopefully I can get some of this done completely by myself. We'll see. So here we go. So right now, earlier today, when Dan was feeling a little bit better, they put in the lines for the sink. And then we've got the red and blue, the hot and cold lines down there for to attach to that so the water will come through. We're using these shark bites, these elbows with these clamps, and that's what that tool is for, to clamp this down. So this is 1/2 inch pipe, and these are 1/2 inch elbows. So we'll put the elbows in and then more pipe, and it'll connect to these, and we'll have these secure so they won't swing around. And then we're going to have an on-off switch, just like underneath your kitchen sink, so you'll be able to turn off the water to the sink from here if we need to. And then those will be attached to here, and then these will attach into here. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to figure out this camera and put it on time lapse, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we were doing some plumbing today. I told you about this cool little tool. It's the clamp fastener tool. So I'm going to show you kind of how it works. So we have these elbows and these clamps. So I'm going to put the clamp on, and then I'm going to put the elbow in to it. And then I'm going to use this tool. See the little hole? It's going to go on that clamp. It's kind of hard to do from here. So this is going to be 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch from the end of the hose right there. Okay, and this part is going to go in the hole. So you're going to put it in there, and you're just going to ratchet it. And what's really cool is if you have it in there right, unlike me, I'm going to use this release to open it up again so I can get it in there. So it's ratcheting, and it's going to keep ratcheting as I squeeze it, and it's, damn it, let me release this. You don't want that to happen. So see how far it got away? It's not clamping down on anything. So let's see if I can break this off. I got it moved up. So pay attention to what you're doing. Don't be an idiot like me and let it slip super far down. Okay. So we got that on there. And I'm going to put this back in. And I'm going to start clamping. And it's going to tighten that clamp. And there's a little indicator right here that tells you when it's completely clamped down. See how the light turned on? I don't know if you can see that. The light turned on. That means it's completely clamped down. So that's how that works. And then I just click the release, and it pops it out. So it's all clamped together. So that's how that tool works. I'm going to put this back on time lapse and finish up the thing down here in the sink, and I'll show you. You can watch it doing that. Okay, so I've got the shark bite valves in. I have the shark bite clamps, well, not shark bites, but you got the clamps in there, and my valves are kind of spinning. I don't know if you can see that. So I just watched a video on how to remove these, so when I get up from here, I'm going to remove these shark bite clamps and put a little bit of the plumber's tape, and that'll keep it from spinning side to side. But then I'm going to mount these to the wall so they don't flop around. And then our next step is we're going to go to the back of the van and start working on the same thing for the shower. Okay, so I have already put plumber's tape on the back of the showers. So these go to the back of the shower faucet in the shower. So I've already plumber taped those and put these on. They do need to be tightened a little bit more. And then I did the plumber tape on here as well. So what I'm going to do is bring the hot and cold from here, run it along this side, and these will do the same thing as under the sink. All right, here we go. Okay, so I put plumber's tape on the end of this. I'm going to try it in this shark bite, see if it works so it doesn't spin, and then if it doesn't work, I'll take it off and we'll figure something else out. So let's try this. Okay. So take this little decorative thing off, push this in. Still feels like it spins. I don't know, we'll see. Put the next one in, see how it does. Okay, so the easy part's done. So we've got the shark bites, clamps and everything, so they're all angled. They're going to go through the back of this dresser, and they're all going to meet up over here. So the easy part, attaching the fixtures to the water, is done. I have to, shocker, make a Lowe's run, or Home Depot, whichever I have them, and buy the little clamps to secure these onto the walls. In underneath the sink and here, and then that way they won't be moving around, scratching. They won't be in the way of things. They'll be securely mounted, and that'll be awesome. Then I have to figure out all this other stuff down here. I know we're still debating if we want an outside shower, and if we do want an outside shower, where the heck that's gonna go. Trying to figure that out, but probably no outside shower in this one. We've got that sink. You can pull the sink around. We'll figure that out. But so coming up next, I got to do some research because, you know, Dan's in bed. How to hook all this up. So I know the water is going to come from down there into our pump, and then it's going to go from our pump to our accumulator, from our accumulator to the cold water, and then our accumulator to the hot water heater, and then out of the hot water heater I'm either going to have 2 or 3 hot water lines. So figure all that stuff out, see what over here that Dan's bought that he already has to use all this stuff. So think this is going to be it for video today. If you like what you saw, you can subscribe and like. You'll probably have 1,000 questions. I don't know. I'll get Dan to answer them. I'll put the equipment I used in the bottom, the links to those, and hopefully you like me. I know we missed Dan. Thank you. Oh, and if you want notifications, hit the little bell. Thanks. Hey, Tour 904, we're back, and you see Dan's out of bed. Yay. So we're going to finish up this plumbing. We also have to do a little electric before we finish the complete plumbing, because it's going to go behind the plumbing. But we're going to get started. I told you we needed the little things to attach the pipes to the walls, and we got these. They're shark bites, 1/2 inch clamps. They just hammer in, so we're going to be doing that to secure all the lines that we did put in the other day down, and then we'll be doing some electric and finishing up the plumbing today. Awesome. Yay. We're going to put it on time lapse. Here we go.
Bye.
Okay, so our time lapse turned off, so we didn't have it all, but we did a lot today, so we're going to kind of show you what we did, and there you go. Okay, so the first thing we did was along the pipes, we added the little black clips to keep the pipes sturdy so they're not going to wobble anywhere. And then we added in the hot water heater. But before we did that, we still had some electric to do. So we finished up all the electric behind this panel, and the panel's all ready. We still have to do just outlets and things like that. So we got the electric run ready to hook up the hot water heater. We've got the hot water heater tied down and the water tank tied down, and we have the water pump mounted. So now what we have to do is mount the accumulator, which gives us water pressure, and then finish just the last few things of water, the cold water connections, because the hot water connections are all set up. So
a couple other things about the accumulator tank. I don't know that Grace knew this, but she is right about the pressure, but what it really you should know is that when you're running off a water pump, it's pushing water, it's pumping. So when you're turning on the spigot a lot, if it's just running off the water pump, you'll get that pulsating action. Whereas the accumulator tank creates that pressure, that constant pressure, so you don't get that pumping sensation when you're taking a shower or when you're using the faucet. It's more like it is in your house.
I gotcha.
So
we have to go get some stuff at Home Depot.
yeah, we do. Yep.
What are we doing?
So hold on.
Okay, so what do we need to get at Home Depot?
Okay, right. So we've got to go to Home Depot. So instead of on the accumulator tank, basically coming from the water pump, you can't see it, coming from the water pump to the accumulator tank, rather than running Plex tube, we're going to go get stainless steel flexible tubing, because it's got a really sharp bend, so we'd have to put at least 290 degrees and like 3 different pieces of Plex tubing, and it just wouldn't make sense, whereas we can just buy one flexible hosing to run from there over here, and then we'll run the Plex tubing out of the other side, which has already got the attachment on here. And then we've got to get some screws for the tank here. It's got some mounts on it, but it's got to be specific type machine screws that fit those specific holes.
So if you're going home to Home Depot or wherever to buy screws, I'm not going with you.
Well, I thought I would probably go to Ace because they have a really good selection of screws, and they usually have somebody there that can help you.
I know, but you always take like 4,000 years to pick a screw.
I understand that, but it's got to have this specific correct screw.
Okay.
So
we need screws, and what else? Flex tube, flexi tube.
Stainless steel flexible tubing. Yeah.
Okay.
Those.
All right. Then we'll put the timer in, hook
Yep.
up the water pump, and maybe not tonight. I'm tired. Tomorrow we'll see if the water works.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll see if the water works. So instead of having just a plain switch for the water heater, what I decided to do was I bought a timer. It's kind of like that old school timer where you turn it to 5, 10, or 15 minutes, and it slowly ticks down. That way, if you want to use hot water, you don't forget that you turn the hot water heater on, so you're not burning all the electricity for the hot water heater. So you can just turn the timer on, take your shower, or turn the timer on, wash your dishes, wash your dog, whatever it is you're going to need hot water for. You shouldn't need it for more than 10 or 15 minutes anyways. If you do, you can always turn the timer longer, and it'll stay on. So it's just kind of a safety feature, so you don't burn up too much electricity.
All right.
Yep. All right, we'll be back soon. Glad to be back with the living.
Don't forget to subscribe and like.
Yep. Hit the bell too.
Ding.
Yeah. All right, so here is the conclusion to the plumbing for the van. Just to give you the walkthrough on the flow of what happens from putting the water in the holding tank to when it comes out of the sink or the shower. So this is our holding tank. We've got 26 gallons in the holding tank, but you've also got another 7 gallons in the hot water heater. So once you fill up this tank and fill up the water tank, then combined you can have, basically like 32, 33 gallons of water total. So anyways, obviously water goes in here. There is an outlet down here where the water comes out. It goes into the water pump, over into the accumulator. Like I said, this creates pressure in the line and keeps you from having that fluctuation or pulsating sound coming through the faucet. It just keeps everything nice and flowing. So it comes out of the actuator here into the hot water tank. You got cold water coming here, and then also over here where it goes down here and splits. One goes to the sink and the other goes to the shower. You can see that comes around. One that goes to the shower is over here, as well as the hot that comes off of the hot water heater. So basically you got your cold and your hot lines coming in here, come down and split down here at the bottom with a T. The other lines run up to the sink. So I'm go around to the other side, and we'll turn the water pump on in the water and just show you, what we've got and what kind of water flow we have. Okay, so around here, of course, we got our little control panel here. I've got the water pump on this control panel, so you can turn that on. Now, the water pump did not kick on when we turned it on because the line is pressured, especially with that accumulator. So once you start using it, when it needs more water pressure, the water pump will kick on. So we've got our water up here. As you can see, it's a nice constant flow. You can hear the water pump pumping back there. And like I said, once it gets up to the correct pressure, that'll turn off. There you go. So, and then we've got the shower here, the water in here. Pull this up, and you got your water shower there. You need more pressure for that if it's not enough pressure. You can always put more air pressure in the accumulator tank, which will create more water pressure. So, of course, you can hear the water pump running to pressurize the line. And that's pretty much it. So you could leave this switch on if you're going to be, using the sink and not using the sink. If you're cooking or something, it's not like, I got to cut it off or cut it on, because once it gets enough pressure in it, it turns the water pump off. But obviously, if you're not going to be using, any water, then you want to turn this off. But I'm going to let it run until it finishes up the pressure. It might be low on water. I think that's what it is.